Hello, everyone.
Hello.
How is everyone doing? Is my video okay?
Does everything look okay to you guys?
It looks like my screen is frozen.
It seems that way for both of us.
Sharif, are you frozen?
I think so.
Oh, crap.
Oh man, we may need to restart the stream.
Okay. Oh, we're the biggest dorks in the world. I love it. Good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing? Except your dorks. There goes my future career plans. I know, I realized I was blinking. Hello, Marco, Demonog, Leadoff Pete. I saw Lanyards, Joseph S., Ron Crow, Knives Are Live. Lungbone was up at 3 a.m.
Jeez.
Drinkwater, hello. Fred the Lug. I'm not going. I think Bluminati said he might be going. Psycho, happy birthday.
Oh yeah, happy birthday, Tay.
Groundbog. Let's see, where are we at? Lurking and working.
There you go.
Kyle.
What up, Kyle? What up, Crispy? What up, Demonock? Or Sheer?
It wasn't you, Kyle?
What up, Paul? How you
Federal
doing?
Harrison, how you doing, my friend?
Fed.
How you feeling?
I always know when Fed isn't feeling so well because he's not in the lives as much. You know?
No. We need him to be feeling better.
My vape, One Moon. Always my vape.
One Moon, how you doing?
What's going on, dude?
Mimo.
Hey, Mimo and Mind of Milton. What's going on, guys?
Milton. Hang on.
Dudes, I got to spend some time with Demonock when I was in Las Vegas. It was awesome. Him and his wife, Stacy, amazing people.
They are.
Which I already knew from Salt Lake City, but it was awesome to spend some one-on-one time with them.
They're such cool people.
Seriously cool people, man.
All you have to do is ask Isaiah. He knows.
Yeah, no doubt.
Snuggins. And Remy and Rawls, if you're listening.
What up, Lauren?
Lauren, how you doing? Good morning.
And the opportunity to hang out with Demonock was at least like a good percentage of why I made the trip out to Vegas. And very excited that we got to hang out. What up,
Sharif was big balling up in that party bus with the suit and everything. And you know what was not missing while Sharif was big balling? His fork.
Always
with the fork. Sharif can be some kind of big what do they call those people who become like huge, rich, and famous, but they're entertainers, whatever they are?
Yeah.
Mega something. I don't know, that'll be you, but you'll still be rocking that fork.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, man.
Making nuggies for the kiddos. Heck yeah, Patina.
What's up,
Patina Turner?
How you doing, man?
Spoiled. Well, yes, but not spoiled. There's a word, mega. I thought it was mega something.
No,
and that could be. That's gonna be bugging me now.
Gotta always represent the community. Two things I always keep on my necklace without fail. One, my fork, which you guys all know, and this little guy. This is the ashes of my beloved dog. So she stays with me at all times, and my connection to the community is with me at all times.
The chain is there, your ashes? Oh, okay.
This right there. See, that's her, or that little stuffed dog is like a reminder of her. I have like a box of her ashes there, but I always keep some of her ashes with me. You know, never leaves me.
So, heck yeah.
Yeah, man.
Gerbs. How you doing, Gerbs?
What up, Gerbs?
Mega clip point.
That's just life. Life is the mega clip point.
Life
it's not no longer flat Earth, round Earth. It's clip point Earth.
Clip point Earth. Okay, we need a picture of that now. The heck is this seaweed BS? I'm not rich. I'm not taking the kids up to Aspen. You will take them and you will like it. Drink that hot chocolate down at the bottom. Joe Kasperick, hello. Cold and arthritis. Oh, Fed.
Yeah, the cold, the one that's been going around this year is pretty brutal.
There's this flu going around.
Yeah. I had it back in December, and it was rough. Very rough.
Yeah.
What is this California Ski Week?
Yeah.
thing? I've never heard of this. I never grew up with this.
What is this?
Yeah.
Hello, Ed. How you doing?
It must be a California thing.
All right. Well, we said that if we have a Monday off, or if I do, we're going to do a mental health Monday. So here it is. I have Monday off, and it's Mental Health Monday. So let's start with like a check-in. How you doing, Sharif?
Man, I've been good actually. Like going on the trip was a good break before the onslaught that is coming, because in the next month the Aurelia prototypes are dropping. I'm developing new products, and I got to get prepared for Blade Show Atlanta, which I just got confirmation that I've got a table and all of that stuff. So I got to prepare displays. I got to prepare swag. So basically from March until June, life is about to get real busy and intense. So I needed that break. I needed a little bit of calm before the storm, you know?
Aries. Still alive, so it's a good day.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
What up, you shady?
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
Some daiquiris. Let's roll out. So, if you're going to Atlanta, I believe Sharif scored himself a pretty sweet table.
Yeah, just by pure chance, too. You know,
you're we should see you as you walk through the door.
Not quite through when you walk through the door, but like, you know, there's like the outer edge of the rows that's like connected to or across from like where the huge booths are. And I'm right there on the edge. So like anybody who's like crossing over is going to be able to like see me right away. I'm not like buried away amongst the tables, which is pretty ideal, you know?
We need to get you a big tall sign that you can see above people's heads.
I was thinking about that because I had a professor when I was in design school. He was his specialty was business. And he said one of the techniques that he did to like get jobs was instead of printing his paper on the 8.5 by 11s, he got special paper cut that was 8.5 by 11.25 inches. So when they collated the resumes, his would stick out 1/4 of an inch, which would annoy anybody who's like trying to like collate papers, and they would grab it out and they would see his resume. So I need to do that for like my display. I need to be able to like stick out, compared to everybody there, Oh, thank you, Fred. That's very kind of you, man. I may take you up on that.
Yeah, that's I'd never worked at a table and I never will. But I always think about that, like you're at a cool blade show and you're stuck.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, oh man, that looks cool over there, but I can't go.
Dude, I've been thinking about that. Like, how do I go and I talk to like vendors and retailers, have them convince them to come check out my table, But
Yeah, fireworks. That's the go-go girls.
Ooh, that's not a bad idea.
Get you one of those inflatable dudes.
Meanwhile, I'd love to have a drone there, like even a tiny little one. They're called back in the day we call them whoops, and
Whoop.
yeah. Actually, I have one. But yeah, it'd be dope to like fly one around the show, but I'd probably get kicked out for it.
Boobs. They always say boobs work.
And I think Melissa Backwoods has got that covered.
Have her stand by your table.
Yeah, fair. I don't know that I could afford her rates, man.
But you could do the drone and just have money hanging from it so you can zoom to a table, have the drone point at the knife you want. It drops the money. You just pick up the knife and fly it back.
That'd be awesome. No, I didn't, Kyle.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
But yeah, dude, the things have been going good actually. Though, like, is to finish the kind of like my perspective on the check-in. Is the year started intense, and then after like Chinese or right around Chinese New Year, like things kind of slowed down a bit, which was kind of nice. It was starting a little too intense for my liking, but everything is kind of settled, and now we're getting ready for the marathon.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, as for me, I think I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
I started hanging out with people like in person, doing nerdy things.
Nice.
And it's actually helping. Instead of being a shut-in like I usually am, I actually am like leaving the house.
Yeah.
And it's been fun.
It's good. What kind of stuff have you been doing?
I said nerdy stuff. I don't want to be made fun of on Mental Health Monday.
You're going to get made fun of by these folks anyways, man. It's the nature.
True. I've been hanging out at a comic shop.
Nice.
Relearning how to play Magic the Gathering.
Heck yeah.
And as nerdy as it is, just hanging out with people is pretty cool.
Nice, dude.
I actually don't play that much. I'll just usually like watch mostly. But just chilling, having fun back and forth with the banter. It's actually been helping.
That's awesome.
So like I went on Saturday, I took Eli with me, and we were hanging out from like 12 to 10 o'clock.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dang. That's badass, dude.
I think that's something I've been missing.
It is good to have a social circle,
like what's up, Dan?
outside of your family, like it's good.
Come on, Fred. That'd be fun.
Heck yeah.
But I'm realizing it is. Okay, so I love collecting coins, but even I think a coin collecting club would be like a snooze fest. And here's my 1938 buckwheat penny. I found it in a laundromat. Someone didn't know what they were about to lose. Luckily, I was there. And this nickel is fascinating because has a scratch right across the president's nose. That for 7 hours?
Oh my God. Even just hearing that makes my soul suffer.
It's probably why I've never done coin talk, because like I like collecting coins, but talking about it.
But also the kind of coins that you're interested in aren't
B&A.
like the average, oh, this was a misprint from this place, at this time. You're like, no, this coin was from the time of Caesar. Like, that's a lot cooler, in my opinion.
Those are the coins I collect.
Yeah.
Ones with historical significance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brian, no, I'm only 5'17", so I don't know where you're getting your information from.
Yeah.
But
little off there, Brian.
Just a little.
How you doing, Brian, man? Hope you're doing well, brother.
Fred, this is mostly my main social circle. But I will say it was kind of neat when someone was like, "Hey, you want to come to the comic shop and hang out?" And I was like, at first, like go somewhere? What? Then I did it, and it was fun.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah, Jerbs. See, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Roxanne. Rocks.
It actually can't be understated from like a mental health perspective. Like, we are social people, we do need to have social interaction. May not be as much as other people, right? Like, there are people who can't stay home alone ever, and that's okay. You know what I mean? But if you're an introvert, even just like hanging out with people once a week, once every 2 weeks can be good. Can really help your mental health, Brian, I saw that.
It can.
How are you handling the downtime, Brian, without your gear right now?
I agree, B&A. I agree.
Crispy.
See, that actually sounds cool. Finding coins from your birth year, that's pretty neat.
That's interesting. I never thought about that.
Broken. Oh man, that's what you were just talking about.
Yeah.
Jerbs, I will say Canada makes some of the coolest coins. I tried to snag some. Okay, I'm talking about coins. Freaking, you guys had glow-in-the-dark dinosaur fossil coins.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, America would never do that.
My favorite Canadian coin, and actually I used to carry them in my wallet for luck, was I used to always carry toonies with me.
Got yourself a toonie?
Yeah, man. But either it was and it always had to be odd numbers. So it was like 1 or 3 for some reason. It was like a weird thing. But I love toonies, man. I think they're dope.
Heck yeah, Fred.
Dude, if whatchamacallit, Fred, if you just come to Atlanta, you'll meet all those guys, right? Mike is an awesome dude. Actually, I've known Mike for years. And Lefty and Jeff are dope guys as well. So
they seem pretty cool. Lefty's cool in person. I like Lefty. Yeah. Behind the scenes, he's a cool dude.
Yeah, like we all collectively give Lefty a lot of crap, but he is a good dude.
He is. See, that's cool, Knife Nut. I've never done D&D. I've always been interested, but I don't know how to play or even where to start. But I see like videos of people playing. They're chatting, eating pizza, rolling some dice.
Yeah.
Sounds fun. Roll them bones. You attack the wizard for 1 damage. How do you fare? Roll the dice. 1. The wizard instead mounts your face. That sounded wrong. That's not how it's supposed to be. Anyway, Nick, thank you. But the current colorway, if you like it, that's neat, but it's got to go.
Fair, Fred. I get that.
I need something cool, like a carbon fiber, or at least some like good blue in there or red. The Phoenix, I separate my knives into colors. The Phoenix, I chose like red. The Orion's meant to be like bluish.
Yeah.
So
Dude, I can't wait for that thing to come out. It's gonna be sick.
I just keep checking to see if Kaiser will write back, but they haven't yet. But they will.
Actually, I was sent a message to their production manager right before I left for Vegas, and he got back to me. So maybe I can take a peek into his mind about the Orion.
Peek into his mind.
Yeah, because we were talking about this guy.
Oh yeah, the Silverwing.
Yeah, took this to Vegas with me.
People are giving the Silverwing crap because of how pricey it is, which is fair. But people are not realizing how much work they are putting into this thing, and it's a limited series.
I don't think the criticism is fair at all, because you're paying this one was $340 with all of this milling, all of this detail work, and people readily pay $400 for a Vero that is basic bitch as it comes in terms of machining and
when even you put it like that. I think spending a lot of money, like there's room to argue pricing, but I think for what they put into that, it's fair. Each scale takes 4 hours to mill.
Yeah, and this, Nick hit it right. Like, if you look in here, there's a ton of like little holes drilled. That's mesh. That's actually the titanium scale, and then the inlay is put on top of that.
Yeah.
So it's pretty crazy the amount of work that they did.
Dragoon. I was digging in the woods and found a cigar box full of old coins. I ran home excited to tell my wife. Then I remembered why I was digging in the woods.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, the teal and the purple.
Yeah.
He has been. It might. I don't know. I suggested a few colors. We'll see what they choose. I have 49 days off. Dang. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Question for Sharif.
I will do a birthday sale on Kaimanos February 26th. But they're not going to be permanently reduced. It's just a gift from me to the community on my birthday.
I don't know how much the Momos are. I like the Momo, but I think a basic one was fine. Goondocks, hello. Aqua Donkey, how you doing? Howdy. Mr. Branson.
Hey, what's going on?
Hello, sir. Trying to quit smoking.
Gerbs, I can tell you from experience, I feel your pain, man. I used to smoke a pack a day of Dejarm cloves, and I quit for 10 years before I started vaping again. Actually, it started with smoking cigarettes again, and then I transitioned to vaping. But staying off nicotine is one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. It gets easier, though. It absolutely gets easier. You just need to find, generally when you smoke or when you want to smoke is when high stress moments come in your life. The biggest challenge will be trying to find healthy ways to cope in those moments so you don't fall back into, you know, uh, going for a cigarette or nicotine in general. You know what I mean? But you can do it, man. You can do it.
That's the thing a lot of people don't have is a coping strategy.
Hmm.
Because then you're fighting these urges and you have nothing to fall back on. So half the time you give in to them, sometimes more.
Yeah.
You got to develop something to redirect your mind.
Yeah, and I quit cold turkey.
It's actually a good idea. Take one out every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so for me, I don't have a nicotine addiction, but I like the foods and snacking while I sit here. And so I've started developing things where, like, if I start getting bored and want a snack, I'll just get up, go do something for like a minute. Usually helps. Go chug a water.
Yeah. Fred, it's believe me, for an addict, it doesn't work. Like both my folks are doctors. I've been around the medical establishment literally from the day I was born. I know everything in and out about how everything affects the body. Doesn't matter, man. For me, my family has a genetic predisposition for nicotine. We found actually on both sides. My mom was a pack a day smoker. My dad was a 2-pack a day smoker. My uncles, my cousins, cigars, cigarettes on both sides of the family. We respond to it in a different way. And no amount of seeing horrible stuff, man, has deterred any of us. But it's just a personal demon you got to learn how to fight. You know, it's psychological more than anything. You know,
that's true right there. Some people just need the act of doing something.
Yeah.
So got a little micarta thingy here. Let me open up YouTube and check it out.
Yeah, I think I follow the one that you're talking about.
Said Stevie.
Fucking drugouts.
What up, Stevie, brother? He's got your back for life.
Yeah, I mean, I can be very honest with you guys. Like, when I quit smoking, yeah, those things. I've actually thought about like trying to snag one.
They're pretty cool. It's like helps you stop smoking, but you can also, I don't know, fidget with it by just having it in your hand.
Yeah. So when I quit smoking the first time, it was after a friend of, so long story short, I was in a Subaru club back in Michigan, and right before I was slated to move to California, a friend of mine committed suicide, you know, and it was an incredibly stressful moment, but for my own health and kind of in his memory, I chose to quit smoking, you know, and I was able to maintain it for a really, really long time until my mom developed cancer, you know, and the stress of kind of going through things, you know, taking care of my mom and dealing with all of that, plus being in a really demanding design program. I was going to school and working all at the same time, and you know, flying back and forth to kind of be there for my mom. It was just too much. I needed something to cope, and that's what got me back on to smoking. It was the only thing that gave me any sort of calm, you know, throughout all of that, you know. And unfortunately, I have not been able to kick it since then. But vaping helped at least. Like, I can be physical. I can go up and down stairs without losing my breath, which was a big downside to smoking cigarettes. Like, when you can't even go up a flight of stairs when I was in better shape than I am now, like, that's a problem.
I'm running out of breath just thinking about going upstairs.
Yeah. So, you know, it's something that you got to contend with, you know.
Cody C, hello.
Hey,
It
what's
seems
going
like cigarettes is a big one here in the community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true, Palmer. And I get away with it a lot because I don't do like the the high wattage vapes. I only vape at like 7 watts. And there's some health benefits to doing it at lower wattages versus higher wattages. But one of the big ones is I don't exhale large clouds of smoke or vapor, so I actually get away with doing it indoors. I've vaped on airplanes before and nobody's noticed. So like if I'm on a 5-hour flight, I can just take a quick hit and I'll be good for like an hour or so on a flight, you know. So it's whatchamacallit, it is dangerous. It allows you to get away with it a lot more. A lot more. Yeah, exactly, Stevie. You just don't exhale, you know, you just, you know, hold it in.
Tina, do you buy the crunchy ones that look like chalk, or the bubblegum one where you get that first like blows that
Those
shit
were still
down?
pretty chalky.
They were, but the bubblegum ones are cooler because you can blow it and it goes.
Yeah, that's true.
When you're 5, you felt like the coolest motorcycle gang member ever.
Right?
Good job. Ooh, bubblegum. Then over the years that non-addicted people do not understand the people who are addicted.
Yeah.
Oh, Ron, I agree. I'm not addicted to smoking, but I'm addicted to eating and caffeine. And it sucks. But the keto's helping again.
Yeah.
This time I'll have a game plan when I'm actually done.
Yeah, Fred, I know about the like fibrosis and stuff within the lungs. One of the things that those studies have been based around has been based around high wattage vaping, where the atomization of the particles gets them infinitesimally small, and it allows them to like transfer through the blood barrier and stuff like that, you know, a lot easier. It's one of the reasons I tend to vape cold, and you actually get larger particles as a result, which is shown to be like net better, but it's still not obviously great. Smoking anything is not good, you know, but colder vapes are better than cigarettes, but by only just, you know.
Mr. Isabella. Yeah, I don't know much about the vaping area, so I'm glad Sharif can handle it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, this is me right here.
Mimo, exactly. You get cleaner air through vaping in or from smoking in LA than you do from breathing.
I'm glad we're here having this conversation. That's what Mental Health Monday is all about. What's up, Drew, dude?
What up, Drew?
Just a
Drizzy.
yes. Okay. Oh, I'm caught up again. Well, if you're ever struggling with some kind of addiction, it's also nice to reach out and chat with someone who's going through the same struggle. You could be struggle buddies.
Yeah.
Hello, Brendan. Yeah, you do have a matcha addiction. He's one of those people that got me to go play that Magic the Gathering.
I figured it was him.
Yeah, this is my coworker.
And no, addiction is difficult, right?
You got
Like
Aries.
my first love, actually the only girl that I ever loved, was like a full-blown alcoholic by the age of 16. By the age of 18, had done pretty much every drug that was available to her at the time, with the exception of stuff like heroin. She never did that. But by the time that we met, when she was 19 and I was 20, yeah, she had kicked all of it. And her only remaining addiction was cigarettes, and it takes a lot of personal fortitude, to overcome that stuff. And a lot of people don't realize, like, addiction is usually two things. One, it's self-medication, actually. People inadvertently have found something that works for them. And the other part is it's resolving some sort of psychological, stressor, right? So, for example, in Vegas, my part of like why I was there was because it gave me a chance to hang out with my dad. And my dad was there for a conference. And one of the things that they actually found in one of the presentations was that marijuana use has been tied or has been sought out by people with high, like either high neurodivergence bordering on autism, or people with autism, because it seems to help with their tendencies, their autistic tendencies. It helps them normalize to a certain degree, and so those people have found something which in effect is like a self-medication, which helps them feel more normal, to have less like sensitivity to certain external stimuli, and helps them focus, right? So their usage of marijuana is an attempt for them to self-medicate without even them realizing. But there was a correlation in behavior and the drug use,
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, and a lot of people, surprisingly, are like that. They stumble on these things that kind of work, and because they want to feel that missing element, they continue to use whatever resolves that's available to them, right?
Yeah.
So like with me, with the ADD that I have a suppressed level of dopamine. So like for people, average people, let's say you make a list and you go through it and you feel a sense of completion for going through that list. I don't ever feel that. It's just, okay, on to the next thing, on to the next thing. I never have a moment of like, oh, this feels good, I got this done. Like ever, right? So as time goes on, people who have that suppressed dopamine will go out to seek whatever will give them that dopaminergical stimulation, and a lot of times that's some sort of drug or nicotine or whatever. So, yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I've seen marijuana be used for many amazing things.
Yeah.
I saw a video guy with Parkinson's, and as soon as he had some, his shakes went away.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's stuff to be found there. And Brian, if you ever want to come up here and talk about that, you are more than welcome.
I think a lot of people need to have a better understanding of what it means because it has been so unfairly portrayed in media that people would be very surprised at how many people in their daily lives may be bipolar and they have no idea. You know, and it's just another flavor of existence. You know.
Yeah. And Brian, to be honest, I also have this, so it'd be awesome to hear another person's their perspective.
Yeah.
And Drew Dude, I don't know what you said about Uncle Cal, but if it was a joke, I'm sure Uncle Cal's laughing. That dude has an awesome sense of humor. Uncle Cal's the man. But let me catch up real quick. I left Brian's comment up there without even keeping up with the chat. Heck yeah, Brendan, proud of you.
Yeah, good for you, dude.
I didn't even know you used to do that. It's been 9 hours since my last knife purchase.
Very true.
I've been shopping for knives, but like not buying knives.
Same.
I haven't sezzled anything. I'll be like, oh, that's nice. Add to the cart, and then hit the X in the corner. Sharp guy.
What up, sharp guy?
It's been pretty. It's been pretty fun.
What have you been looking at lately?
I've been going on like DLT knives and just seeing what's there. I keep checking when that Pharaoh Spartan's gonna come out. Ooh, heroin. See, I have the only experience I have with hard drugs is my family, and they're the reason that I have never tried cigarettes, never done drugs, none of it, because I've seen family members die, their lives turn to crap. They're why I didn't really drink. So I watched an aunt. She disappeared for 10 years because she did heroin and then joined a motorcycle gang and just disappeared for 10 years. And she came back raggedy as heck.
That's rough, man.
So, growing up watching that, I stayed away because my family, both sides, are very addictive. Hello, Stevie.
Stevie.
So, I mean, they suck as people, but I'm kind of glad that I grew up watching them, so I knew what not to do. But it also sucked because my family's terrible pieces of crap and they suck.
Yeah, that's wild, man. You got her number by chance?
No, you don't know. She is a terrible person.
No. Thanks for reminding me that it's Monday, by the way. I thought it was Sunday. When I woke up this morning and went back to bed. I've been lounging and listening since you guys started, and there's one thing I want to say. You touched on it a little bit, if you don't mind. Look, all addictions are serious, and for the longest time, I grew up around addicts of all kind, you name it, and I always said, I'm thankful I didn't get the addiction bug myself. I'm not addicted to anything. And then I realized as I got older, man, my food addiction is ridiculous. And I think one of the reasons why food addiction, I'm not saying it's worse than heroin. Whatever your addiction is, that's the worst, right? I'm not comparing it by anything, but I think one of the reasons why food addiction can be so bad is, look, if you are addicted to heroin, you distance yourself from heroin addicts and you try not to hang around heroin. If you're an alcoholic, you try to distance yourself from alcohol and don't engage in any alcohol, use. Same with smoking. With food is everywhere every minute of every single day.
Yep.
And so now it becomes a test of just pure willpower in some, and that's what I have found more than anything is just my lack of willpower at times. And just when I think I'm good, I'm not. And it's something that I think I'll struggle with my entire life. I think it is. I don't think it's you don't hear about the food addicts as much, or at least I don't. Maybe it is a big thing, but I think it can be just as dangerous and just as terrible. It's not gambling. It's not again drug use and all that, but it's the struggle is real.
I think it's more insidious, actually, than people give it credit for. Because
I don't know what that word means.
It's more like dangerous and pervasive than people give it credit for, right? Because you have to go to a certain venue or certain circumstances to engage in most addictive behaviors, right?
Yeah.
Like, I have to go to the corner store to get cigarettes. I need to go to the market to buy alcohol. I need to go to the casino to gamble, right? But food is in your fridge. Right? Like, the snacks are there. You're going to go to the grocery store to get your necessities anyways. What does it hurt to get an extra bag of chips or, to get this unhealthy stuff or that unhealthy stuff? It's part of the process, and it's so much harder to fight,
Brown sugar, hello.
But yeah, again, so I guess my point of all that also is, like, I've never judged people that relapse by any means, because I've seen people go from sober for 15 years and then relapse and then get back on it, and I've never judged in that sense, knowing just, look, the struggle is real, but I can actually relate now. And yes, it's food. And I said this to someone. I had Stacy's side of the family, her dad's side of the family. They're all, her dad just celebrated his 70th birthday and his 50 years sober. And his wife is also long-term sobriety, and we were talking about all that stuff. When I brought up food, they're like, "No, it's not the same thing." And like, I think you guys are just dismissing it.
Mm-hmm.
I get it, but yeah. Anywho, but
I agree.
but I do think, regardless of what the addiction may be, I saw someone in the chat right before I hopped on is just being able to talk about stuff and being open with it is such a big help. Such a big help, man.
It shows that you're not the only one on the struggle bus. You got brothers in arms.
Yeah.
That's why it's important to reach out. We say that every Mental Health Monday. Reach out.
And
I suck at reaching out. I'm
I was going to just mention this comment. Brian hit it on the head.
Yeah.
Yep. Go for a walk.
That is one of my weakest characteristics about me, is my willpower. Sometimes I'm strong and I'm like, dude, I'm freaking, come on, throw anything at me. I can, and then there's times where I'm, make fun of me all you want. There's times where I do go buy that entire bag of Doritos and I've killed it in the car before I've even gotten home.
Mm-hmm.
I've relapsed like crazy before, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's real, man. The struggle is real.
I also lack willpower, because there are days where, like, I'll realize, like, I got out of keto. So I'm like, cheat day. And then by the end of the day, I've eaten so much crap because I'm just like, wow, I mean, the day's already shot. Let's eat a whole pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no power. Rocky!
What up, Rocky? And what up, Scotty?
And I was going to hit Bobo's comment, but it's gone now. Or it's way up there. There it is. Bobo, if you think you may have it, go check out a counselor or a mental health professional.
Yeah.
But there's usually signs you have.
According to Mimo, anyway, if you like spending time in the North and South Pole a lot, you might be bipolar.
Double D, how you doing?
No, but Bobo, if you have concerns about your mental health in general, go seek, a psychiatrist, and they will be able to give you a diagnosis. And when it comes to something about something like bipolar, if it's determined that you are, they will have like a series of available treatment plans, and counseling and advice and stuff like that. So
some of the signs I had for me, though, bipolar really is ups and downs. You'll have periods of time where like, woo, yeah, let's freaking go. And then you feel yourself getting less and less like, woo. And then it turns into like, you hit some very deep valleys.
Yeah.
And then those are the times I usually start going quiet. You start like, innocent comments start feeling like attacks. And you're like, man, everyone hates me. Like you just start feeling the worst. And it's terrible. And it's hard. It's easy to get into that valley, but it's hard to get out.
Mm-hmm.
And but you do bipolar, you get out. Sometimes it could be weeks, months, sometimes days, and then you're happy again, and then like woo, and then it's right back down, and there's no end to that roller coaster. But when you're low, you are low, and when you're high, I mean, when I'm at the top, that's when I'm like buying expensive knives I shouldn't be buying because I'm like, yeah, let's go. I'll figure this out later.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, like, don't mistake this for what your average person goes through for being like highs and lows, right? If you're somebody with bipolar, there's a spectrum, there's a range. The range of the highs and the lows with bipolar are much wider than your average person. And as Maddie was saying, like the lows they're not just like a day or two, they can actually extend for quite prolonged periods of time, and that's what kind of classifies it as being different than your average person's like higher highs and lows,
Yep. It's like a deep depression. You stop caring about things. You don't even want to get out of bed. Your body hurts.
Yeah.
And like I said, like everyone here jokes. And like Marty sucks is not an attack, but sometimes like you just look at it wrong. You're like, man, why does everyone say I suck?
Yeah.
I'm just here trying to have a good time. But deep down, it's like, oh, they're just joking. But your brain's like, nah, man, they actually hate you. They think you suck.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's why I tend to get quiet. I just stop interacting because you can. I've started, fights with people because I took something the wrong way, and then I get in an argument. It makes it worse.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a tough one. But then you have meds that make the highs and lows kind of get close to evening out, but you never quite meet in the middle. You just kind of you get close.
That's again, man. I do think though that more and more and more people are acknowledging this. The amount of friends that I have over the last couple of years that have acknowledged it, and I won't call people out, but we know someone just recently that was like, I didn't want to do it, but I finally went in and started talking to a therapist, and I got on some medication. And he's like, it was hard for me to admit that, but man, I had been in denial about the condition that I was in, and I couldn't keep going down that path.
Yeah.
And I've heard that from a dozen or so people over the last couple of years. So I do like that the stigma of mental health is lifting and it's talked about more.
Absolutely.
That's the only way. Remember to smash that. That's the only way to society is ever going to tackle subject is when you can bring it out in the open, and make it and bring down the
stigma.
And I know this has been discussed 1,000 times, but for the longest time, I think a man doesn't show his emotions. And I'm like, I've said for the longest time, I think it's more manly to show your emotions, man. I think not acknowledging your emotions, and again, this is not judgment, but it's almost weaker, if you think about it, to not deal with it is almost a sign of weakness. And again, I'm not attacking, I'm not, but it's we think of it in the opposite.
Yeah.
But I don't think I think that's changing.
Yeah, and there's a big difference between like stoicism and avoidance.
Yes.
And a lot of people confuse the two, right? Like avoidance is you running away from what you clearly see can be an issue, and I think what you were saying right here, Crispy, society does expect men to be strong, but I think the strongest characters can do a self-assessment and determine if they need help, right? Like nobody is a one-man army. You know what I mean?
Well, in the way I guess I look at it also is, and I'm going to be a hypocrite here a little bit because I haven't taken care of my mental health like I should, but I have acknowledged some things, and to be stronger for my daughter, I know that I need to take care of myself better. So again, that's where and I totally agree. I was raised by a grandfather that you don't talk about your feelings.
Yep.
That stays in there.
Yep.
And I never agreed with that. And so again, it's changing the stigma though of what is strong and what is not.
Yeah. I had to contend with that in my family because I come from Greek and Egyptian sides of the family, neither of which ever considers mental health to be a genuine thing. Like when my dad said that he was going to be a psychiatrist, both sides of the family said, "Are you kidding? That's a joke profession."
Right.
And it's because of that, idea that like to be strong, you work through it. You're a man. This is what you're supposed to do. It's that classical archetype, and that still persists within the cultures today. So I'm kind of glad we're here. I hate to this is in no way political or social or anything, but I'm glad that we're in a country where this is part of like almost like the national discussion now that people are willing to engage in this topic, rather than suppress it,
See, Mimo, I like that.
Absolutely.
Well, yep. Yeah. That's.
Yeah.
I mean, that's. 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 taking care of others. One reason I decided to do keto and stick with it this time because I look at like my kids' eyes and I realize I don't want them to bury like a 40-year-old dad. I want them to bury like a 94-year-old dad, maybe 95.
Also, I need to clean my glasses because I kept thinking that said snuggle.
I mean, we do snuggle with things. Nick, it kind of is. Not officially. We are not professionals, but we started this to have a place to discuss these things with no judgment at all from anyone. And I think it's been good because people can share things. I mean, our very first live was Lungbone, and he shared a lot of very personal information.
Yeah, very courageous.
Couldn't be more proud of him. And Crispy Critter did the same. And we've had quite a few. And
Sharp Guy was look. They've all been great, but Sharp Guy, man,
yeah,
Genesis was pretty powerful too.
100%.
We need a part 2 on him. By the way, happy birthday!
Oh yeah, that's right.
Was it his birthday? Happy birthday, dude!
Yeah,
things like coke or opiates. I know food addiction. People, the society now has moved towards like no fat shaming. It's okay to eat whatever you want. Live fast, die young, or whatever. No. Die young, leave a sexy corpse or whatever. Life is short. Eat what you want. But
you know the thing, with, like,
what up, Jay?
So my dad has been a medical professional now for, I want to say, like 50 years. And you know what his one conclusion is with all of it is like, it sounds so cliche, but when you actually understand it in tangible like levels, like moderation is everything, right? You can enjoy having a cake, but eating cake every day is bad for you. You can enjoy having a pizza, but having a pizza like 2-3 times a week is not good for you. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm guilty of that. Hell, when I was living in downtown LA, I had an amazing spot. And every time I would like walk my dog, past there, which was 2-3 times a week, I'd stop in and I'd get a small pizza to go on my way back, But that's not the right choice.
I'm just going to get the appetizer pizza.
Exactly. I have roots in appetizer pizza.
And Burnt Relic, go see a medical professional if you feel like you might have multiple personalities.
Absolutely.
That's a very real thing.
Yeah.
There's sorry.
No, there's no shame in it, man. Go, tell them that you have these concerns and they will engage you with an open mind, man. So
I when I was going to school, I did a stint on a lockdown mental health ward, and I've seen people with multiple personalities. It's quite interesting.
Yeah, me too.
And then you watch them switch between the two, or 3 or 4. Sometimes people had like 30.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting, but very real. So if you feel it, I mean, definitely go see someone. Usually you can see someone for free too. There's ways to do it. Steffi, bro. Crispy, you have.
Yeah. Crispy, you're awesome, dude.
That one we did with you guys was awesome. Oh, what's up, Joe?
What up, Joe? How you doing, brother?
Hello, Joe.
Oh, Joe, I got a bunch of stuff to tell you from on the ground in Vegas about F1, man. But we'll talk about that when we play some COD. Speaking of, I had a 53 kill game last night.
Bro, that's Did you get to the final level?
There is no final level.
Yeah, there is none.
See, there you go. Well, I'm going to encourage you, Brian.
Dude, I'm right there with you, Brian. I'm right there with you.
Yep. Oh, snap.
I don't mean to brag, but I killed 53 people. How long did that take you?
I mean, why you got a dog on the other people's skills, man? That's all I gotta say.
Because I can kill a lot of people, man, doesn't mean.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, what up, Gonzo?
But again, moral of Mental Health Monday at its core, I believe, is always reach out. Rocky said you can reach out to him. I'm terrible at reaching out to people. It's something I need to work on.
I think also what Mental Health Monday is really good for is just establishing the fact that whether it's in a platform like this or just finding someone, being able to get stuff off of your chest and talking about it, is huge. I have always, and I know that it's not my own. I discovered early on that if you can just get all the bunched up feelings and emotions and just out verbalizing, even if it's just writing it down, like how much better you can feel. The weight like starts to come off, and so I think that's what Mental Health Monday is also a good indicator of.
Yeah,
I will second that. I'm the type of person myself that there's a lot of processing going on up here, and if you can't open your mouth and speak it, it doesn't get resolved, you know. So feel free to talk, everybody. This is a place to do that, you know?
That's the Drew.
Maddie's just been waiting. When's the right time? When's the right time? When's the right time? When's the right
Squeeze
time?
it in between sentences. Always reach out. And that's but right there, Crispy said, yeah, check in on the strong ones because they don't ask for help. Oftentimes they say, I don't need it. I don't want it.
I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. But sometimes they're not doing all right. Club sandwich sounds good. But yeah, and we should try to find a way for people to, I think Nick said it, to do a call-in on mental health.
Mm. Yeah.
But I mean, if any of you guys want to come up and talk about anything, I could put the link in the chat. You guys can come on up. Oh man.
What up, P and Dubs? Yeah, Tina, you had a rough go at it, mate.
Yeah, man.
I didn't grab my coffee. I'm gonna go grab my coffee real quick if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Guns is offering as well.
Heck yeah.
You dubs. And yeah, that would be rough.
Yeah. Loss is always a difficult thing. I can also tell you guys, like, I've been around a lot of loss, you know. In my lifetime, it's not something that I talk about a lot. And even there have been times where I've thought that was like a curse upon my life, that everything that I care about will eventually get taken away from me, like far earlier than it's supposed to. To be quite honest, that was one of the things with my dog. My dog, Cleo, really saved me after my mom passed. there were times where I was borderline considering not going on, if you get my meaning. And having her was a reason to keep going in those moments. You know, I was able to externalize and get out of my own head and focus on something that needed me. You know, and then I lost her only after having her for 6 years due to renal failure. That was really, really brutal. You know, loss can be very hard, and it's good to have people around you when you're dealing with loss that kind of understand the darker sides of it. Because if people try to tell you, say, oh, it's just this, it's just that, that doesn't help. Telling you that it's going to get brighter doesn't help. You need somebody kind of in the trenches with you a little bit, not fully, but somebody who gets it. And it's never easy, but there are ways through it at the very least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it sucks that all you
Whatever.
few people here are having some funerals coming up at Bettina with their two. But just remember all the good times.
Yeah.
My funeral is going to be a party. It's going to be a... Think of all the dumb crap I've said on live streams. Have fun.
I have a funeral to attend this weekend, and they want me to speak at it.
Oof. That's
rough. And I can't say no, but yeah. It's going to be a tough one.
Thank you.
And that is something that I'm dreading, by the way, in my lifetime, Stevie, is the time where I'm going to have to do that. If you need anything,
see you go.
Just let us know.
No, it's
see.
I'm not going to overthink it. I'm not going to prepare anything. I'm not going to. It's something that's going to happen, and I'm just going to blah. Whatever happens, and they know me somewhat, so I can totally be myself, and
that's good.
Yeah.
Cody, I relate there too. The anxiety, but it sounds like you're doing awesome.
I think you'll find, Cody, I would say, as I've gotten to know this community as well as I have, I can't put a percentage on the amount of people that suffer from some form of anxiety, but it's high.
Yeah.
Almost every, I'm not going to say almost everyone, but a lot of people I've seen, as time starts talking, like, hey, I'm not coming on because of the anxiety that I have with, so know that you are not alone.
Yep. Yeah. This is exactly why I started my channel to begin with. Try to fight it. Film myself talking.
I should go back. You know what? While we're doing that, I'm going to go back. I remember talking to you after you did your first, or it was either right before or right after you did your first face reveal, like your first front facing, and talking to you about that. I wonder I can find that.
Yeah. Also, to what you're saying, Cody, I wish there was. I wish I remembered, but from that conference my dad went to, they were saying that there is some correlations between certain. I can't remember certain chemical or vitamin deficiencies that correlate with anxiety. and there are they are developing new ways of tackling it within the medical community. So um, hopefully there will be some more breakthroughs in that soon. You know, because as Stevie was saying, a lot of people contend with it.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
Well, and I have now seen also the benefits firsthand of how you can really start to overcome the anxiety. I
Mhm.
came on here one time and talked about, my daughter Zoe and how she struggled with it for so long, and then finally started getting some help and started taking some medication, and she is one of the lucky cases of where it's absolutely helping her. She's thriving because of it, and she's reaching her full potential as a human by addressing this, and she's so much happier because of it.
Heck yeah.
See,
that's good.
And also still has struggle days.
Mhm.
It's not in. It's just she realizes like, oh, that's just rolling with the punches now.
Yeah.
And it's always going to be a struggle.
Mm-hmm. That should also be one of the things that should be made clear, right? Like you're never going to fully eliminate whatever is your mental health concern, right? Like it's more about having the tools at your disposal to work through them. And if you need medication to support those tools, ultimately, like I have had literal clinical grade depression within, like, to the point where the doctor said we should admit him, uh, about me, uh, back when I was in my early 20s. But I developed the tools to be able to work through it and to be able to address it when it comes up. And it served me on many occasions where times have gotten dark. And I will invariably, go through a period of heavy depression again in my life. I know that. I know it's coming. But I know I'm more prepared now than I ever had been in my previous experiences. And I know that when it hits, I will be able to get through to the other side. And if I'm struggling, I know that there are resources available to me that I can go and seek extra help from if I need it. If it gets out of my depth, and that's really the name of the game when it comes to mental health. Stop.
No, I totally agree. I was talking to I don't know how much he talked about this, so I won't say Shane's name.
Keep it anonymous. Good.
But look, Shane's been pretty open about everything, and that's the one thing I reiterated to him. He's like, man, he's like I had such a positive trajectory for so long that when I had to step back, like it knocked me back down, and I didn't think I was going to get back up. And I'm like, you got to remember, man, you're still human, and you're still going to have those down days, man, and it's okay. It's all right, man. It's not I think to him it was a little more like, dude, I thought I was over this. Like, no. There's, I hate to tell you, there is no over it.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's with you. And so to acknowledge stuff like that, and not let that get you even deeper,
Mm-hmm.
is important.
Yeah, and
oh, sorry, Sharif, go ahead.
no. Just I was just agreeing. I wasn't saying anything more.
I was just gonna say because Mimo hops up with all these jokes, and I don't know if he realizes it, although I think he does. But he's doing an awesome service, like just putting off these one-liners that are just hilarious, and some of them are deep, like that one he did the other day that Steve was like, "Dang, what was it?"
So be it.
Soviet, yeah.
So be it. That is
But
still
man, like,
one of the most.
stuff could be serious, and like you could be having a bad day, then Mimo will just pop in with like Soviet, and you're like, "Dang!" It gets you thinking differently,
Mm-hmm.
and it brings joy. I deeply appreciate Mimo. He is freaking awesome. But the stuff he does is like it's got layers to it, and you laugh at first, and then you're like, "Oh dang!" Then you start like you get even deeper, and man,
That's the genius of Mimo, man.
it is. Then Scott N, he does the same thing,
Yeah.
and then the difference between Scott and Mimo is Mimo pulling his one-liner, just bask in his glory, which he should. Scott N always tries to pump you up with like he's funny, but then he hits you with some like some feel good advice and stuff, and those two together are an awesome. That's why they are king of Mount Knifemore. They just both bring me a lot of joy.
I won't read all this, Maddie, but if you go back to November 17th of 2021,
Dang.
you'll see the conversation. It just started out with, "Hey, dude, just wanted to say I really dig the video you put up today. I know I've said this a few times, and I don't want to come off like a total fanboy, but I totally dig your channel. Guys are secondary to me. I like seeing people's personality come through more than anything. You seem a decent fellow, cool cat. Any hoodle, I thought I'd let you know."
That's awesome.
Thank you, Steve.
Real quick, Sterling. Yeah, dude. There are no right tools, by the way. There's the tool set's always evolving because the beast on some level is always evolving. You know, for me, it has changed. You know, before, like when I was much younger, it was more of a dark sense of depression. When I was older, in my late 20s, it was more of a constant and persistent negative internal monologue. And so the tools that worked when I was younger were not the tools that would necessarily serve me when I was older. And so it's all about, I think the biggest tool set is recognizing that what you're feeling is maybe not the reality of how things are, but also it is a valid reality of how you feel. And then kind of going from there, and kind of trying to contextualize where you're at, less so than having the right screwdriver. You know what I mean? If that kind of makes sense.
Totally. Drizzy, I saw your comment earlier. I think you started to say something back, and then I was getting on and missed it. But, bro, whatever. I didn't see the Uncle Cal comment, but I can rest assured. You can rest assured. Josh has an excellent sense of humor.
Yep.
And I know the context of it. Maybe taken out of context, you'd be like, "Ugh, that was cringy." Josh is, he has a great sense of humor, man. So I don't sweat it, dude.
The dude flirts with my wife, so let him have it.
Yeah, what that part of the video that I made when we were at Blade Show when I went shopping with Katie. He replied back. He's like, "That must have been the luckiest day." He's like, "That would have been the luckiest day of my life."
Freaking Uncle Cow.
Shout out to Josh.
Shout out to Uncle Cow. And Sterling, I don't think you could share too much because we've had guests come on that have shared so much, and it's been awesome. And so if it helps, get it out.
On a platform like this, yeah. Here's one thing I will say, and maybe this might be unpopular. Because as much as I do think it's healthy to share and talk about your problems, I also do think that sometimes there is a time and a place for it, right? Like sometimes I do feel, and if I'm wrong here, tell me I'm wrong by all means. Sometimes even if you are having the worst day and someone says, "How you doing?" Say, "I'm doing all right, man." You know, you don't always need to unpack all your stuff onto that person, is what I'm saying, more than anything. I don't think I'm articulating it the best way. Because, you know, talking out of both sides of my mouth, hey, talk about your problems, then don't talk about your problems. But again, I do think that there's a time and a place, you know, like don't, you know, choose when to unpack everything and just, you know, like, "Hey, how's it going?" Oh man, and just unload it on someone like that. That's a lot to do to someone, man. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah. But I was more referring to here.
Oh yeah. No, I'm saying, like, that's why I said this is a perfect platform for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
just
because
unload the cash register lady.
Yes.
I get what you're saying.
My mother is like that. My mother is the type of the, you know, someone, it doesn't matter where we're at. Waitress comes over like, "Oh, how's everybody doing?" She's like, "Well, just got the results back from, you know, the CAT scan, and it looks like I'm gonna have to be fitted for my back brace." And like, "Mom, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
She asked me how I was doing. Like, yeah. You don't need to unpack all that.
No, I agree with you there. Funny anecdote about that, actually. During the 90s and 2000s, or early 2000s, the Russians had like guidebooks for people who were traveling from Russia to the US on the differences in cultures. And that was one of the things that they had to identify, right? Because in Russian culture, if somebody asks you how you're doing, it's not common like it is here. And so they would have that kind of conversation, like,
Gotcha.
"Oh, my life is da 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 da." And they were saying, "Oh, when you guys come to the US, it's very common for people in the US to say, 'How are you doing?' And you shouldn't tell them all of those things. Just say, 'Oh, I'm having a good day.'"
Right.
Because culturally it was a big difference, you know.
Mr. Eddie, hello.
What up, Mr. Eddie?
But basically, if you're gonna unload on someone like that,
that's what that sticker is. I've been meaning to ask. I got this sticker in from Mind of Milton, and I couldn't figure out what it was. Mr.
Eddie's knives. But unload on someone who's listening and actually cares. The average person on the street, they don't want to hear your problems.
Because it's not that you're right. And the lady at Olive Garden taking your order doesn't, you know, she's being nice. You know, "Oh, how's everybody doing today?" In the literal sense of the word, she doesn't mean it, you know?
Yeah. And
you just say good and you move on.
Yeah. So that, and you know, again, there's a time and a place for it. And we also have seen it again, I'm not calling anybody out, but there's been times where we're trying to be goofy and silly and unwind, and someone will come in with something hard and heavy. It's like, man, this isn't really the time and place for it, you know?
And also, to kind of further what Stevie's saying here, if you are in a bad place and you want somebody to engage with and kind of discuss those things, bringing it up in the wrong situation like that actually will hurt you, because
Be detrimental.
you're going to feel rejected, you're going to feel unheard, and you're going to say, oh, da 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 da. People, it only worsens your feelings, because you're not getting the response that you want. So bring it here. You know what I mean? This is the right place for it.
Mr. Eddie, you can always share opposite opinions.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a place to chat how you feel. If it's different. And Titanium Justin, OCD and anxiety, you're in the right crowd, my friend.
What's your opinion, though, Mr. Eddie? All you motherfucking crazy people just need to shut up.
Could be. I don't know. But yeah, we always listen to all sides of the subject. This is not, we don't try to have this as a one-sided argument.
Yeah.
Sharif does, but we try to that other opinions are okay. No more than 4 people to 1 sock. Then you got to get a new one.
Need to cleanse my palate after that comment. I gotta say, man, not to get too far off the topic. Shane last night reached a new low for me last night. I literally was like, why did I come on here?
I missed that part of live when you were on there.
No. Yeah.
I've seen and done some stuff that for some people might not be sensitive, and I have tried the mental health stuff. See, as a cash grab. I mean, I could see some people, like, especially pill pushers.
Yeah.
But here, this part, we're not a cash grab. Sharif is, but the rest of us aren't.
No,
we keep chucking Sharif under the bus just for no reason.
No, I'll be very candid about this. This is a conversation that I've had with my dad and my mom when she was around. There is an unfortunate number of mental health professionals that within the mental health space, a lot of things shifted with the development of the HMOs. And the HMOs and the insurance companies began to dictate terms of treating patients, right? So before, when a doctor may recommend a certain course of medication or certain course of treatment that was optimal for the patient's condition, the insurance companies created a big upset within that by saying, well, no, we've determined from our professionals and our financial assessment, we can give you 2 days of hospitalization instead of 2 weeks. We'll only cover so much. And that created a shift within mental health, unfortunately, with some doctors playing to that and taking advantage of that to maximize their returns. And it's completely unethical, but it is completely within the law, which is really unfortunate.
Yeah.
But they are thankfully in the minority. And unfortunately, like with a lot of things nowadays, what we get exposed to as fact is the minority group who are bad actors, right? It's like people who say that all cops are bad. No, there is a very, very aggressive minority that you hear about a lot of times, but a lot of people go into the profession at least with the intention of doing good and helping their community, much the same like doctors, And I won't mention names, but there was a doctor back when my parents were in Michigan, a mental health professional, who would see patients for 15 minutes and bill it for 30. You know what I mean? Or see them for 30 minutes and bill them for the full hour, and things like that. But then there are other people like my dad who would sit here and take, free samples that were given to him by like the drug companies, and he would use those samples to help people with low income, who wouldn't be able to afford their medications, in order to get them the help they need to end run around the BS of the insurance companies. So,
Yeah.
unfortunately, it's a crapshoot what you get, but you have to find the people that work for you ultimately, unfortunately.
And that sucks that you've had that experience, Mr. Eddie, because there are, for everyone that you met, you got folks like Sharif's pops that, but I can understand, again, I won't say who, but I know someone that for about 10 years was caught up in a horrible therapist, psychologist relationship, prescribing the wrong stuff, and it was just like stringing her along.
Yeah,
and it was horrible what she's still going through to overcome all that stuff. She thought she was doing good,
yeah,
and we finally were like, hey, you need to cut yourself off from this person that you think is helping you. And there are like, and go figure, she's out of business now.
Yeah, exactly. It eventually comes for them.
But, there's definitely and unfortunately, you're in such a vulnerable state when you are reaching out to somebody like this, that you don't see the warning signs there. And again, I'm not saying that maybe there weren't any, but yeah, it's that's the unfortunate side of humanity, man.
Yeah, exactly. And Crispy, yeah, man, it's my dad used to work he was the director of mental health at the VA in downtown Detroit. And the VA system is so brutal, man. Like the one thing that he walked away from, that I walked away from with all of that, is quite frankly, the government's not doing enough to support our guys who come.
No, I was really unaware of it until about, how old Zoe? About 15 years ago, when Stacy's uncle passed away, and he had been failed so much by the VA that he became a recluse. He was a Vietnam veteran, served this country in the Marines very honorably, and just got let down by the system, became a recluse. So when God, this is a total Debbie Downer moment, but when he fell in his house and hit his head on his coffee table, and no one heard from him for 4 days, they thought that was normal. Well, sometimes we just don't hear from Steve from 4 days. But unfortunately, he had fallen and hit his head, and if someone would have come over to check on him, maybe he would have, survived.
Yeah.
And that was the first time that I really got exposed to the VA, and hearing about all the stuff that had happened. So, I really hope they're able to. It's so unfortunate, man.
That is a system that needs massive reform. Honestly,
the whole mental health system does.
Yeah, the whole mental health, and that's why there's. And again, don't want to get political about anything, but when you see where a lot of money is going, sometimes, like, that could be invested into our, the stuff like this, yikes! It can be very frustrating. But
Yeah, man. No, it's that story I mentioned about my dad, like giving the samples. That was when he was working at the VA, because his under the guidelines, his hands were tied sometimes, for giving treatment. And so he just said, you know what? Fuck this. I'm a doctor. My job is to take care of people. And unfortunately, there's not enough people who have that kind of mentality, that, the patients come first over all the other BS. But I will say, if you do find a doctor who's like that, stick with them, because they'll always stick by you, So there are some good ones out there, but just like anything, like a good mechanic, a good plumber, a good anybody, like sometimes it takes some searching to find the right fit.
I had to switch around a few people to find my guys.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
And Mr. Eddie, that's a interesting perspective of it. I would like to hear more about it. I grew up, a lot of the stuff that we do is based on how you grew up. I grew up thinking it's selfish. I don't know, but this is a hard subject for a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the hardest. And you could argue both sides, and at the end of the day, both sides won't make sense, and they will make sense.
Both they're both right and they're both wrong, and I've been through a lot of that, and as some of you guys know, I went through a scare of that a little bit before the holidays, with someone close to me, and
it's a tough subject, and I don't think there's any right answers or any right opinions, on it.
Yeah.
So it's
I would say, though, in all situations, definitely seek out help first and foremost.
Yeah. I know, when I lost my friend before I moved out here, there were no signs. Literally, the night that he did it, we were out at the bar hanging out. Everyone was in a good mood. We were making plans for the weekend, which was literally just 2 days away. There were no hints, and we were like, all of us were tight, literally hung out multiple times a week, every week for years, and the one consensus that we all had was, if he was feeling that way, we were there for him. We would have listened, so loss is never a good thing, if it can be avoided.
Yeah.
Well, and now again, this is why this type of stuff is so, getting it out in the open can be important, because when I lost my first friend, who is no longer here, in his note that he left, he's like, no one picked up on anything, that I was going through, and I just got dismissed, and I felt like I could never really, convey myself, and I made everyone feel like absolute garbage, because we did kind of just dismiss it in general. That's why I don't mess around at all anymore when it comes to this type of stuff. But
sometimes all it is one quick comment, and that's the clue. That's the only clue they're gonna give.
Yeah.
We deal with it in where I work. Kids say it all the time, but sometimes you have that one kid that says it, And then you're reading their obituary a few days later.
Yeah.
Always it's a cry for help when you sense it. It's you got to act on it.
Yeah, and it's like what Maddie is saying is sometimes it's not the ones who are proclaiming it loud. Actually, oftentimes it's not the ones who are proclaiming it loudly.
Studies often show right before someone does it, they're the happiest they've been in a long time.
Yeah,
because they know the end is right there. Their pain will be gone. So they end up being full of joy, and you think, "Oh, they've turned it around. They're doing all right again."
Yeah.
Eddie, that was I will say I struggled with coming to this conclusion with that person I was just talking about. That's really close to me. This is the conclusion I came to, and I struggled with it very hard.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, it came out the other side, but I did like all the things that we say, like you can't think of all the people around you, but then I'm like, so yeah, it's a delicate,
It is.
Yeah.
There's no right answer.
Yeah, there's not, and you're right. And all the people that would oppose you, I can understand why they say that, but that is actually the conclusion that I came to, and I struggled with it so hard.
Mm-hmm.
But if anyone is feeling like that, definitely reach out.
Yeah,
I would much prefer that you didn't.
Yeah.
100%.
Yes. Always reach out. I mean, doing that's the last thing. I mean, that's the finalization. There's no chances after that.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, man.
And Pocket Theory, how you doing, buddy? And
Going on, Spuds?
Yeah, dude.
I hope you're doing better, Pocket Theory.
I will say, I'd seen some of your other videos in the past, but I really, really, really liked your lanyard video, by the way, man.
Heck yeah.
He brings a lot of energy to his videos.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, I thought it was like super refreshing and positive, and he made excellent points. I'm like, this video is perfect.
Yeah, he's doing good work out there, man.
I feel like a lot of videos, especially mine, are like they're boring because they're just yakking about something. You gotta have that energy. That's why Bees does so good. He has that energy, and I think the world needs more energy like that.
Heck yeah, dude! You're doing a good job.
There are times though that we're just straight up a-holes, but we do try to spread the positivity.
For sure.
Overall, though, we try to be good people, spread the positivity, except Sharif. And
I hope that's the general consensus. Is we joke around, we bust a lot of balls, and I'm saying we. I spend a lot of time with these two guys.
Yeah.
On this. I hope it's the general consensus, because I know behind the scenes we want to have a good time and support one another and promote that. So in all seriousness, I hope ultimately when you see through all the corniness and goofballness and that's all we're trying to do at the end of the day, man. Not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. Again, sometimes maybe we are, but for the most part, just trying to provide some low level entertainment for folks and help people forget about their problems for a little bit.
Hey man, I came to the conclusion a long time ago that like I may not leave a lasting legacy like any of like the greats. My name may not be ever remembered, but what I want people to remember me for is that, I brought a little bit of light into the world.
Yeah.
You brought a lot of light, Sharif. You're one of the best people out there.
That's the legacy that I want.
You know, my gravestone's not going to have my name on it. It's going to be like, "Here's to you, Sharif."
Whatever.
And then at the very bottom will be scribbled, "Some dude's here." Whatever. Sharif is the man.
He introduced me to Appetizer Pizza. What more do I need to say?
Yeah. In fact, my gravestone will now be shaped as a Detroit deep dish. Little cement bottle pouring that hot honey down.
Yeah. A-holes.
And then yes, hashtag Marty sucks right across the bottom. I don't think this life is all there. I mean, everyone has different beliefs and opinions on what happens when you die. I'm a firm Christian myself, but everyone believes what you want. But I don't think this is it. I think this is just a blink of an eye in terms of eternity. And I do hope that when I die, I get to explore all of the universe. Freaking sweet. But like just travel, go see planets and galaxies. I think that'd be pretty sweet. But that's just what I want, what I believe. I ain't telling anybody what to believe.
Yeah, I agree.
This is Stevie right there. How do you not know Stevie by now? He gave you the goods. It says his name right there.
You're an odd bird, Brendan.
He is an odd bird.
Yeah.
You're an odd bird.
It's so true.
What if it is Brendan? Then what?
Yeah. Then don't take
You know
it
who
for
has
granted.
a very good, I guess it's kind of, he's a comedian, so call it a joke or whatever, but Pete Holmes has some really good, I don't know if you guys know who Pete Holmes is.
Eddie. I do.
He
used to do the X-Men or no Street Fighter interviews.
Yeah.
Vega.
He's got some good takes on the whole subject. Ooh, baby, do you know what that's? Ooh, heaven is a place on earth.
Yeah, see, Lauren, that's phenomenal. If you can find that,
For sure.
For sure. That's kind of what my thinking was. Us as Americans, not to get political for a second, but us as Americans, we're kind of somewhat shielded from what goes on in the rest of the world. And a lot of what happens in the rest of the world is not good.
Yeah.
If this is heaven, then yeah, it is. This is terrible.
I like the philosophy that both are around us at all times. It's about what you choose to engage in, and it's about what you choose to surround yourself with, outside of course, your situation. You know what I mean? Like, if you're born in Darfur, it's very different, obviously, than if you're born in Southern California.
What are you talking to be?
What are you talking to be? Maddie, so you finished season 4?
I did. I finished The Big Les.
And did you realize you finally understood? Like, it's so much more than just a silly, goofy stoner cartoon.
It really is. For those of you who've been on the edge for The Big Les, just just do it. It's silly, but then you get towards the end and there's some feels in there. It got me
Yeah.
thinking at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Made me hug my boys a little tighter.
Exactly, dude.
It's
Oh, dang.
it's good.
All
It's
right.
good.
Yeah.
I gotta check that out.
What's an emote?
Our emojis. But
Brandon,
does
I'm
anyone
literally the guy that you've talked to several times? Freaking weirdo.
does anyone have anything else you want to talk about? Because if not, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. But if you do have something to chat about, I mean, I'm fine keeping it going.
I think Maddie's got to drop a deuce.
No, I did that already. I did it pre-game.
Mhm. Sure.
I'm just like you, Stevie. I poop in the morning. That's it. Unless there's an emergency later on. Mr. Branson.
What up,
Heck yeah,
John?
Brian. Gotta get some rest. And remember, always reach out. If you're feeling down, sad, you have questions. I mean, you can even put it in the Discord. Maybe, do I have a mental section in the Discord? I could put like a mental health section in there, and you guys
I
can ask
think it's just the
questions.
general tab.
The general tab. No, I'll put a specific mental health tab in there,
Uh,
and you guys could chat about things. We'll keep that one serious, though. No, I mean we'll have little jokes, but
Yeah, but there's plenty of other spaces for it in the Discord.
get
Definitely.
back in my Discord, Mr. Eddie. But see, yeah, Josh is an awesome person to chat to.
Yeah, absolutely.
I-
100%.
I never volunteer my services because I'm literally the worst. As bad as I am at shipping, I'm even worse at chatting. I'm a terrible person. But I mean, in the Discord, at least you can get several people giving you ideas or whatever it is you need.
And I gotta give a shout out to the man Crispy, man.
Thank you.
Crispy's been there for me on a number of occasions, and I'd like to think that I've been there for Crispy as well. So
Crispy's
Joe.
I could go on and on and on. Crispy is an absolute he's a good representation of our species. I'll put it.
Dang, Joe.
He really is. He really is. Crispy is an awesome dude.
Crispy really is. Well, everyone is awesome. But Crispy is awesome. And Bobo, thank you again. That is freaking cool of you.
Heck yeah, Bobo.
I'm going to buy some Spanish peanuts. That's one of my favorite snacks right now.
Are they from Ibiza?
I don't know where they're from, but they're awesome. And Joe, we still have our nerdy channel in there with the Gundams and stuff.
Did you say penis or peanuts?
Peanuts.
Oh, I'm gonna buy.
They're rather bulky, but I consider them carry-on. Josh, if you're a crap person, then I'm the crap at the bottom of a porta potty that's been up for like 6 years.
No, I'm a worse person than you are.
You're the crap on top. You're the fresh poop. I'm that compacted crap at the bottom.
I'm way more piece of crap than you are.
I've got the corn in me.
Go get a crap room, you two. Neither
We do every Thursday.
Neither of you are. Stop it.
Every Thursday, that's our crap room.
Well, thanks
you
for
go.
letting me come on and crash your party.
Yeah.
I did. I woke up, had gone back to bed, then I woke up and saw that I had a notification that you were on. I was like, oh, perfect.
Lauren, thanks for the $9.99 penis.
Hey, man.
$9.99.
Is that how big it is, mate?
There you go. Yeah, that looks to be about 3.5 inches. I'd say that's about right.
Get a 3-finger grip on that bad boy. Thank you, Lauren.
Oh, Sterling, I love seeing that, dude. Heck yeah, man.
Sassy, open my heart. I'm going to be... Stevie told me to watch Big Les and then the Mike show.
Yeah, Mike Nolan's big long weekend. Mike Nolan's long weekend takes place a year and 9 months after Big Les ends. And then Sassy is... I can't talk or else I'll give it away. And then there's the Donnie and Clarence show that's in like real time.
Nice.
Huh.
I'm gonna have to catch up on that stuff now that I'm back.
Yeah, definitely watch the Big Les.
Yeah.
By the way, Joe, I realized you didn't have a wrench. If you guys like Gundams and stuff, Joe, he films a few of them.
Yeah. If you're into Gundams and model making, check out Joe's channel for
Is
sure.
that like what's his name that does the Whoopa Gundam style?
Sai.
Yeah, Sai. Is that what that is?
That's Gangnam, not Gundam.
Oh,
Hey, what up, Gareth?
Gareth, how you doing? We were just ending it. It's been 2 hours, so yeah. I don't know when the next Mental Health Monday Live will be, but
Hope you all enjoy your President's Day. I hope you guys go out and you're able to save some good money on some mattresses and some furniture.
I fixed the link in my post, but the Cold Steel Formax is $57 on Amazon.
Take advantage of those furniture and mattress sales going on everywhere.
Oh, go buy a knife. Cold Steel Formax, $57. That's a good deal.
Man, I wonder if Emerson has any sales for President's Day.
Do it, Joseph.
Whoopa Gundam style.
But everyone, have an awesome day. I definitely get yourself some. Well, he's talking about the ones he's selling, but get yourself a harpoon. Freaking love this thing.
Heck yeah.
But everyone, get those Rheem water heaters.
That was wild last night to have that much of a conversation on with Justin and Molly. My phone blew up going, hey, man, everybody's talking about you.
I still need a little be-up thingy like Javon has. I want one of those. I will hit you up. But everyone, have an awesome day.
Deuces, y'all.
I'm going to make a mental health thing in the Discord, so if you guys need advice or anything, it'll be there. Todd Carr, hello and see ya.
Later, TC.
And you know what? You guys have homework. Think of someone that we should cheers this week on Wednesday. It's usually me that picks, but maybe I'll let the community choose this one. But it has to be someone we haven't done.
So you need to go back. So your homework is to watch all previous Mattisfaction lives to see every single one that's been cheers, because you don't want to duplicate someone.
What I do is I go to my live tab, scroll down so they all populate, and then I do Control F. Let's see, like I did like Marco. I type in Marco, nothing showed up. Yes, Marco's available. But like I know if I do Stevie, he'll be there. Sharif was in there. I mean, that's how I do it.
Because you can't be cheering twice.
I don't have one in the Discord. I had it written down. Maybe I should put the thing in the. I don't know. I don't think I've done it yet. Here, real quick. This is exactly what I do. I'll show you guys, and then I'll end it. But for those of you who don't care, you can also leave if you want, but I'll just show you what I do. I go just to make sure because we've cheersed a lot of people. So I'll do this. I'll let it all load. This is my live tab. And I go all the way. Scott N was our very first one.
Nice.
Mental health back there. So I make sure I get them all. There's Shane. Spread some love. It's around here that Scott should be. There it is. A toast to Scott. That's what it was called first. But then I'll do Control F. But I spell Javon the correct way. So yeah, he's not there. So we could do Javon.
That freaking thumbnail.
Which thumbnail?
The only one that matters in what you're showing.
Oh, there's one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to get silly with it. There's my hand-drawn whatever he calls his monkey, mandrill or something. I think I did, Kyle. Let me see. Kyle showed up. Yeah, we did, Kyle. He was streamed 4 months ago. So Kyle's old news. But yeah, think of someone, and then I'll let you guys pick this week. That'd be pretty fun. But everyone, good night. Ooh, I've heard good things. But today is Pocket Metal. So go check out there. I have not done Donnie yet either.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Donnie would be fun.
But everyone, good night, my friends, and have an awesome day. Bye, everyone.